Welcome back, everyone. Again, may the Lord have you all having a mighty fine day. I'm back with my babies, my nieces. Take it off, Jerry. Remember, mine babies. I could do that. That's mine. All right, and you'll never see this probably ever again in your life. They have me eating food. Y'all ain't supposed to laugh. Eating food instead of the sweets and the good stuff I love, like Sarah Lee. So, my baby said there was a few things that she would like to touch on. So, though I'm normally the one speaking a lot, I'm actually going to get their point of views and chime in to their point of views so that you're getting a plethora
Ooh,
of point of views
I like that
on
plethora.
each subject. So, to start off, we're going to start with misunderstandings. Baby, take it away.
So, what misunderstandings is basically there could be a lot of reasons why there's misunderstandings. So maybe one person has one perspective, and then the other person has a different perspective, and basically two people have two different perspectives, but it's hard for them to understand each other. So where misunderstandings come is when one person's not understanding the other person, and the other person isn't understanding the other. So the thing about misunderstanding is we have to like take ourselves out the equation and step into each other's shoes to understand why they had that perspective and why the other person had the other, and then we can finally learn and come together and see where each other was coming from.
Baby.
Yeah, I agree, Tyra. I definitely think that the misunderstandings come from everybody having different perspectives, because what my mindset is not your mindset.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We definitely see that a lot. She's laughing because me and her have two different mindsets. She tells me that I'm left-brained. Did I say branded? Like a horse? Wow. Okay. Just so y'all don't know, I'm a little dyslexic. I say words very weird, but I promise y'all, keep it honest.
Like everybody uses different like perspectives with their mind. Yeah.
Right. She says I'm left side. She says she's more right side. So
And I'm down the middle. Okay.
So like I have a lot of different perspectives on different things, but I think the biggest part to play is knowing that the misunderstanding comes from not being, it's intentional versus doing something on purpose. So like she knows, like if I did something like, can I use what happened this morning?
Sure.
Actually, Uncle's like sure.
I want to learn.
So this morning I was getting ready for church, and she said something to me. I didn't really fully hear her, and I think the fan was because I'm actually partially deaf in my left ear, and so I didn't fully hear her. So I thought I heard what she said, and I said yes, and I kept walking, and she thought that I was following her into the garage, and she was going to show me what she was going to show me. And I'm trying to get ready for church, and then I walk past her, and I'm going to start breakfast, and she's looking at me like, well, didn't this chick just told me yes? And I misunderstood that she was trying to have like a conversation with me. And so later on, we had a conversation about it. But in the back of my mind, I had to get to a point where I was like, okay, she wasn't purposely showing me attitude because she don't like me. I mean, obviously there was a misunderstanding. I had to take myself out of my shoes and say, hey, there was something that happened. There was a disconnect that we lost the intention behind it, and it doesn't matter what the reasoning is. There was just a disconnect, but I have to realize that it wasn't intentional, and then we were able to find a solution about it. So to piggyback off of what you said, yes, it's having different perspectives, but I think also too the big key is knowing that that person wasn't trying to be harmful to you. And I think that's the bigger purpose. If you know that person has your heart and it's not intentional, it wasn't on purpose, then I think it becomes easier to be like, okay, let me sit and try to understand this person's perspective because I know they weren't purposely trying to hurt me.
Well, modifying. What you didn't catch, just in case, she's the youngest, so she can hear through both ears. She's in the middle, so she's deaf in one ear, and I'm old, so I'm deaf in one eye. So work with us, okay? Now, to chime in on both, I did a little thing on interpretation. When we're speaking on things, we intend it to mean or come across a certain way, but it doesn't guarantee that it will be delivered the way you sent it out. Just like a package. You ordered something perfectly good, but then you get the Ace Ventura and he kick it across the yard, and then you get a busted box. So you got to send it back. Some of our messages come across busted, not because of our deliverance, but because of its reception. And we cannot control how someone else interprets what we're saying. So it's best many times to say, hey, what did you get from that? Or did you understand what I meant? So that then the other person is really receiving what you're trying to give. Okay? So many times, again, it isn't wrong, first of all, I gotta say it, for each person to have the belief that they have from the reception that they received. Okay, we all have our own points of views, and we have the rights to it. So you can't say to the next person, you're a liar, you don't understand, you're not with me, I thought you loved me. We go into a whole lot of negative stuff because we're looking at things from a different angle than the other person. But when we change our perspective to matching where that person is, all of a sudden we start to see things slightly different. Okay? So if I took my two babies right now and I put them back to back,
Physically?
Physically back to back, we're not going to do it, but if I place them right now physically back to back and ask them a question about what they see directly in front of them, I wouldn't get the same answer. But if you're talking to someone else, they'll say they're in a different place. No, they're in the same place. They're just seeing two different things. And many times in the subject, we're in the same place, but we're seeing many different things. So keep that in mind when you're having a misunderstanding with someone. The term misunderstanding, we got to take care of the missing part. So that there can be understanding, but we don't take the time to correct what's missing. We just go with it, and then we build on it. And once you have a problem and you build on a problem, it doesn't go away. It becomes a what? Greater problem. All right. So, anything else on misunderstanding that you like to touch on?
That was it.
Okay, we could get real deep.
Well, I like that you said building on, and that's kind of interesting. I know this sounds weird, but I kind of think of it in a science way, where you have cations and anions, right? So you can either take away, add on, build upon, and your perspective or your mentality, you can either add on to something or take it away. You can either add more fire to the pot or you can take the fire out, right? That's
Put
what it's
water on it and cool it down.
right. Extinguishers or cold water, however you want to put it. Or you can sit there and say, yeah, let's light this match and let me get a match and add more fire to it. I mean, it's up to you. But I think that with the building, you have to understand, what are you building towards? Are you building towards destruction? Or are you or your chaos? Or are you building more towards a solution? And when you put yourself in the perspective and the mentality of, okay, I'm trying to solve the issue, then you can actually sit down with the person. And I could testify to this because me and her, we get in disagreements all the time, and it's more of a, okay, let's sit down and let's figure this out. Tell me why you were thinking the way you were thinking, because I don't get it. And a lot of the times, I don't think I'm old. I'm 32, but she calls me old all the time, and she says that I think more old school.
I'm ancient.
Apparently, because if I'm old, you're ancient. So we have a lot of differences in certain things, and I have to sit down and kind of reel myself back and be like, oh, okay, I didn't see it like that. I didn't get it that way. Or, oh, there is a better, well, not necessarily better, but just a different way of that. I didn't realize it. So I just think you have to put yourself in the mindset of what are you building towards? Can you actually just sit down and talk about it? Or you can choose to add more fire to it. Either you add more fire through, you can either do through nonverbal or through verbal, or you could either run away. I mean, it just depends on what your choice is, but there's so many different ways that you can build onto the fire, and there's so many different ways you can put the fire out. You can put the fire out by just communicating and talking, and really just having that heart-to-heart conversation, basically, in a nutshell. So,
I agree.
So again, breaking that part down is simply this. The metaphor of the fire is us. We get to decide whether or not we're going to stop, take the time to actually deal with what's in front of us. I could say, I love you, but I'm not listening to you. Okay, so was the love supposed to just automatically fix the problem? Or can we actually have a one-on-one and take the time to talk it out, work it out, and then put it into action? Because just saying the words doesn't fix it. I'm sorry fixes nothing. I punch you in your throat will hurt. I can say I'm sorry, your throat still hurt. You didn't forget, I just punched you in your throat. Okay? So, again, you got to take whatever it is, bring it together, and then work through it. And our problem is we don't work through things. We either want to buy our way out, you want to say special words and you think it's get over it, it wasn't that serious, whatever the case is. That doesn't work, because it is that serious for the other person. They're the one that got hurt, or they're the one that is under that misunderstanding presumption, and it's hurting that individual. So when you cause the hurt or the misunderstanding, you also have to take time to fix the hurt and the misunderstanding. And sometimes you also have to give time, because you cannot tell the person how fast to get over whatever it was. You can present your truth, not your side that want to manipulate the lie into something greater. Your truth, and then allow them the time to work through it, correct it within themselves, and then you all both move forward together or collectively as a group. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed the misunderstanding, and we're gonna touch bases on a couple other things, but I think we're gonna break them down each separately, so that we're also being mindful of your time. So we appreciate y'all being here with us. Stay tuned, and we got a little bit more coming soon.